Hello, I'm Bryce Button with AJA, and we're here today to talk about AJA in 3D. Now you'll notice that I'm currently wearing these anaglyph glasses. So these are the glasses that you might be used to from your earliest experiences with 3D, where you have offset color. If you've been to a recent film, then you've probably been wearing these glasses. Let's say Avatar or Alice in Wonderland, a film like that, and these are polarizers. So stereoscopic television, stereoscopic film, is all about creating a sense of 3D by capturing from the beginning with two separate cameras. And by being slightly offset, you get the illusion of 3D. So AJA believes that 3D is going to be growing in importance throughout the course of this year and moving forward. We've had a number of technological advances in the last few years, and of course there's now an industry trend. 3D is becoming popular not just for theatrical release, but also for broadcasters. So clients like Sky B out of Europe, and here in the States, entities like DirecTV bringing DirecTV 3D, and of course the Blu-ray standard has now been set with 3D support, and there's HDMI 1.4 with support, bringing 3D into the mainstream, into your home. So at AJA, we try to provide you with solutions both for creating, acquiring, and distributing. We're very pleased to be talking about some of the new productivity tools that we are making available starting now, and we've got some of our partners with us so that they can share their stories and their tools with you as well.
So there is a tremendous amount of buzz on 3D. 3D is everywhere, everything you hear about is 3D, and it's really kind of a fun and exciting movement because it's technology that goes way back decades and decades, and it's something that sort of came into fashion and went out of fashion a few times. And when all of this buzz started to happen, I think a lot of people said, hey, is this gonna be a fad, or is this really gonna stick, and people can get a headache? And I think that there is so much tremendous momentum right now in terms of bringing new types of 3D content to the home.
I don't think 3D is a fad by any stretch. I mean, I think people who have really experienced it, both as viewers and as filmmakers, can see that it's as important a contribution in the evolution of film as sound was in the 20s and color was in the 30s.
Well, I think this time 3D is really here to stay, but like many other technologies before, it's starting really at the high end, and as time goes on, the technology is going to move down, it's going to become more affordable, more accessible, and easier to deal with. And Adobe is going to be an exciting part of those future 3D stereoscopic workflows.
What our customers are telling us is that they need stereoscopic solutions that allow them to deliver that same kind of work in 3D and in stereo now. So we think it's really the next logical step. At an industry level, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because that transition into stereoscopic work is probably going to be forced to happen a little bit faster even than the transition to HD. The Smoke on the Mac is the first of our finishing products that we've sold as a software-only offering. And this is great because it gives people a lot of flexibility. If you're configuring the system, you can decide, what kind of storage you're going to need, what kind of networking. You can spec out the Mac Pro workstation that you're going to run it on yourself. And then when we looked at what the hardware requirements would be, we said, let's spec this out like a really high quality system that people probably already have in place. So when we came to Video I/O, of course, selecting the Kona 3 as the I/O option just made total sense. These are cards that are out there that people are using already, and that we know from our experience with AJA as a partner that people are going to be able to rely on this card.
So one of the most exciting things about Adobe is the wide variety of partnerships and ecosystem that we have with our different partners. And one of the most vibrant ones that we have right now today is between Adobe and AJA. We have just a wonderful communication so that in the CS5 lifecycle, we're going to see tight integration between AJA's hardware products and CS5 Production Premium right from day one. So things like the Kona card, as well as the I/O Express, will be compatible with all of our major products like Premiere Pro, After Effects, CS5, and of course, Photoshop.
One of the things that Core, the development company of QTake, and I talked about was further developing a relationship with AJA to use their different products to provide different options. QTake is a software solution for very high-end advanced video assist. It allows you to do real-time compositing on set. It allows you to do 3D playback, 3D viewing, 3D editing on set. It's a very, very powerful software-based tool that utilizes a number of different hardware solutions by AJA. You can run it off of a laptop using the I/O Express. You can run it off of a Mac Tower using a Kona 3 card or 2 Kona LHI cards.
Autodesk makes creative software, and our goal is really to enable creative people to tell the stories that they want to tell. We partner with AJA on our systems product lines, so that's the flame, the smoke products. And our goal there is to make sure that we're delivering great creative software, and things like the hardware side of it, that shouldn't be something that the artists have to worry about. So when we look to someone like AJA, we know that they're going to provide that reliable video I/O, the things that again, that we're not going to concentrate on, and we know that that's going to be taken care of. So that's really where our relationship with AJA comes, being able to trust them to provide the hardware that's going to make our software even better, and really make it a great experience for anybody that's using our product.
So to enable you to work with 3D, what we have done is here I have the Kona 3 card. You're probably already very familiar with the Kona 3 card. It's our high-end digital capture, mastering, and display card, and it's always had dual link. So that's enabled you to work in 2K, for instance, real 2K, through our hardware when working with red workflows, any of these kind of higher end workflows. What we have done for you is when you download the latest software now, you will be able to find a setting in the AJA control panel that simply allows you to turn your dual link connectivity into stereoscopic. And that means you can basically send a mux signal or a discrete left eye, right eye out through the card to your monitors while you work, while you edit. That's just a reminder again that with AJA products, it's a good idea to consistently check our support site because we really do turn on a lot of things through firmware over time. So when it comes to the 3D work, it's not just an issue of the acquisition and the editing we've talked about. You're also going to be distributing. And much like with normal mono distribution, that's a lot of data to get around your pipelines. And of course, if you're in the broadcast space, just another wrinkle in your flow. So what we have for you here is the Kumo. And this is the Kumo 16 by 16. As you can see, it's an extremely thin single rack unit device, and it's a router. So what you're seeing with a 16 by 16 is we simply have 16 ports in and 16 ports out. Just a reminder that this is the 3G SDI standard. What does that mean? It's got twice the bandwidth of the older SDI standards. So a single connection here can actually handle a 4x4 signal and some of the higher bandwidth progressive frame rates. We will also be bringing out a control panel so that you have the ability to assign where you want your inputs and outputs to go and help give you an entire workflow that is smooth, simple, and easy to access.
We have been moving from a more superficial experience of 3D and unhappier for the audience, certainly, to something that's sort of more satisfying artistically and certainly a technical improvement over where we've been for the last really 100 years in 3D.
I think you're going to see a lot of progress and a lot of commitment to these things already really in motion, but it will really snowball towards probably the IBC show in September. It's definitely a 3D year. I think 2010 is clearly the year of the 3D movement.